Hello, bit of technical difficulties, but hello. Hope you all are well. We're back with another show on the BNR channel. Today we've got Jake and we've got Quasi. We had Jake last night. Jake, a brilliant debut. You're here for your seconds. And Quasi, who made his debut on BNR on Friday.
On
Was it
Friday,
Friday?
yeah.
So we've got two people on the channel making their second appearances. The first ones went really well. Let's see how it pans out in the second one. Jake,
Yes.
how you doing, mate?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Another victory under the belts. Match went basically how I expected it to go. If I'm being quite honest with you, I predicted 2-1 yesterday. We finished it 2-1 today, so I'm pleased, more than pleased to say the least.
More than pleased, Jake says. Quasi, how are you feeling
More
today?
than pleased.
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me here again. It was a great show on Friday. I was excited, man. I told people I made it. So, but in terms of the match, yeah, Liverpool, we started off well, then fell asleep somewhere in the middle. And then, of course, relentless, almost what they call them, mentality monsters. We came back.
Guys, for me, right, Liverpool are in a really good position. Really good position. And if anyone told me that in August, Liverpool would be where they are in all competitions, top of the Premier League, another win under the belt. I don't know how many wins that is now for Liverpool in January. I think we're unbeaten since quite a while, since the USG game, I think.
Yeah.
But we don't count that. That was the kids. But no, wait, what did you make of the first half? I think we started quite well and it kind of shifted away. Fulham starting to block, tried to hit us on the counter attack, and they executed their plan really well in that first half.
Yeah, listen, I thought the first probably about 15 minutes or so, I thought we got off to, like you mentioned, a pretty good start. We conceded a pretty weak goal to concede. I think everybody would probably agree with that. But at the same time, those are the typical goals that we do give up. I think from that point forward, after we conceded the goal, if I'm being quite honest, I think Fulham's response to that was better than ours. And from that point forward, I think they took a little bit more control of the match than we did, really until about the changes came on, if I'm being honest. You're talking about, maybe 40 minutes there, 35 or 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Quasi?
Yeah, I feel like we started well. The ball movement was very good in the first 30 minutes. And then when the goal, even when with the goal, I think the goal came in in the 19th minute, right? We were okay, but I think we kept, I don't know if it had to do with too many changes or a few people should have not started today. Maybe he should have started more of the players who played against Arsenal. So there was a few disjointment, especially in the midfield, because we could not break him down through the midfield. We kept doing our forever, side to side, back to the goalie, back to the center backs, and then try to see if we could go around him. But one thing that I would say is the mentality still there, and the changes that the manager made was the good changes to help us win, in the second half.
Did anyone in the lineup surprise you? Because me and Jake were on the show last night because he wasn't here. I don't know if you watched the show back, but we were debating whether who would start right back for Liverpool, who'd start centre back for Liverpool. And I think we all agreed on Ibu Konate would play and Conor Bradley would be right back. Were you, Quasi? Anything in the team that you thought, I don't know why they're starting?
Actually, yeah.
Right inside of midfield.
In the center back, in the center back, Virgil, because from illness for the way the manager said he was really ill, he looked like, and then you put him back in the game, and it showed in the first 20, maybe the first 30 minutes, you could tell, like, I don't know if you guys have it on your side. We have an allergy medication called Benadryl. It makes you very drowsy. So one of my friends was like, did he take Benadryl before the match or what? Because he looked very, very off it. Even the mistake to the goal, it's like he would never make that kind of header. He will probably wait.
It's something we associate with Virgil van Dijk being calm.
Exactly. And
you could tell maybe something was wrong.
Something was wrong. He looked foggy. Like his brain will look real foggy. Because even the yellow card he got, I don't think it was a yellow card. But and then of course I think that was probably it, because I was expecting Gravenberch to get some playing time. He's a player that needs more time and more games. Then I think that was it. Virgil, I wanted Kwanzaa. I want Kwanzaa to also get enough game time for him to be able to establish, because when somebody's out, we need him to be in tip-top shape, not trying to get back into it.
Jake, I know we spoke about the defenders, but I think more of the issue for me was the midfield. And we were debating yesterday whether it will be Gravenberch or Jones, not Gravenberch and Jones. I think that was one of the surprises for me personally. What did you make of Klopp's midfield selection?
If you ask me, am I surprised about the selection? I would tell you no. If you ask me if that was the team that I would have selected, I would tell you then I would also tell you no. And what I mean by that is we were on the show yesterday. We both picked our teams.
Yeah.
Both of our teams, if I'm not mistaken, had Jones and Elliott in the midfield.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of us, as spectators would agree that we'd rather see Elliott in the midfield than on the right wing. Now, that's my preference. But if you ask me, am I surprised that Klopp went with Elliott on the wing as opposed to in the midfield? I'd have to tell you no, just because of his comments going into the previous match. Going into the previous match, he made it pretty clear that the top replacement for Salah on the team, the perfect replacement, if I'm not mistaken, were the exact words that he used, was Elliott. So he's sticking to his guns with Elliott at right wing. At least he did for today. If he's going to continue doing that moving forward, it remains to be seen. But that was his choice today. I talked about how important Harvey Elliott was to this team and kind of the position that we're in right now without Salah and without Trent yesterday. I thought he was going to be the most vital piece to us having this kind of transition period, if you will. And that just wasn't the case today. He wasn't good enough. That's a fact. And when he came off of the field, even though I thought he did pretty well the last about 5 or 6 minutes that he was on the pitch until he got pulled off, once he came off the field with, I believe it was Gravenberch, him and Grav came off at the same time. That's when the entire match changed. So there's a lot for us to unpack here, but at the end of the day, it's not the team that I would have picked. But at the same time, I'm not surprised that that's how Klopp went, because he basically said that was his choice prior to the last match.
For me, I think you could tell that I'm not going to criticize Liverpool players today because I think the performance overall wasn't great. I don't want to pinpoint where performances were bad, but for me, you could tell Ryan Gravenberch, you can tell he hasn't had much game time in the last couple of weeks. Hasn't played much football since we played Manchester United at Anfield a couple of weeks, last month now it was. You could tell that he was just not off his game. He wasn't comfortable now on that right-hand side of midfield. And maybe that's down to him not having a preseason. Maybe that's down to him not being able, not knowing where to play him, what type of player he is, etc., etc. That's where Liverpool needs to find the balance, because I think Ryan Gravenberch's future at Liverpool lies on the left-hand side of midfield. But right now, we've got so many options there. And you could see today, it wasn't a great performance from Ryan Gravenberch.
I was thinking that he was going to put Jones on the right side and have Gravenberch on the left. That's what I thought. And then when they started, I was like, wait a minute, what? I totally agree. And I know that he gave us at least 30 minutes of good half in the first half, right? He was moving around, just the ball was bouncing off his foot a little bit. When he gets the ball, you know what he's trying to create causes problems. Just the ball leaves his feet. The problem is that side, Klopp has turned that side into, you have to be in tip-top shape to be able to play that side. Because Szoboszlai being fatigued is not by chance. Because that guy runs a lot. A lot of people criticize him because his with the ball output is not what people want to see. They want to see him dribble, shoot from 40 yards out like Steven G used to do. But they're forgetting that he covers a lot of places, especially the way we play so high up the field. So Gravenberch is trying to do it, but the first 20, 30 minutes, you'll be like, okay, I see you running. I see you. Even when you lose the ball, he comes back. He comes back and help defend. After a while, you could tell he was legged. Like, there's one part where I think Fulham had a breakaway and everybody was back by Gravenberch until the ball went out before you saw him trotting back, right? There's already social media where people are making fun of him because he's so lethargic coming back. But I think games like this is what you start him, right? So that he gets at least that 50, 55, maybe 60 minutes. But I think moving forward, it'll be great. He will be a better substitution. Give him that 20, 30 minutes because when the whole team comes in, it's going to be hard for him to get game time. So
Absolutely.
this is the best time for him to get as much, game fitness, not just running around fitness, but game fitness for him to be able to catch up. But he is so far behind the team. You could tell, he didn't have preseason with the rest of the guys. He came in way after. And then if we put context on his football career, he hasn't got any football games since he left Ajax.
Yeah.
So all this needs to be factored in. And then playing a club midfield is not easy. So I hope he tries hard like not Elliott, even Elliott and Jones did, because it took Jones 3 years. People forget that. It took Jones 3 years for him to actually cement a place right now. So we have to give him time, and I hope the manager puts him in the places where he can, develop better.
And Jake, Quasi makes some amazing points that you can add to this. Klopp is known to integrate players into the team very, very slowly. Maybe not so much recently, but we've seen him do it in the past. Fabinho, that's the only one I can think of at the top of my head. He really took his time with Fabinho and decided to put him in the team. Cody Gakpo, for example, we didn't really know where he'd be playing. Darwin Nunez, for example, all these players that Klopp has signed, they've taken time to come into the team. And maybe something similar is happening with Ryan Gravenberch. That's why I don't want to be too critical of him. But I do want to speak about the attack in the first half. Diogo Jota, Luis Diaz, and Harvey Elliott. It just didn't work, did it?
I mean, there's a lot here to unpack. To answer your question, no. At the end of the day, it didn't work. If I'm not mistaken, I think they had around 71% possession in the first half. Maybe they had one shot on target, I believe, in the first half. Yeah. If it was more than one, it definitely wasn't many more than one. But one thing that we have to understand, and it's becoming a reoccurring thing with this team, is this a 90-minute game? And people are way too quick to judge this team in the first 25, 35, 45, 55 minutes.
Yeah.
We've seen this team time and time again come out of the gates, maybe not necessarily slow, even though, I said earlier we started pretty well the first 15 or 20 minutes. But at the end of the day, the first 45 wasn't as good as we wanted. And you see the remarks at halftime all over the place as far as, we got to make this and this changes. It's just not good enough, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
We have to understand that we're playing another professional side on the other side that has a plan to counter what we're planning on doing. And there's adjustments that are made. And we've seen it time and time again with this team. Quasi talked about it, the mentality monsters. We're back. And Klopp has shown it basically week in and week out, every single match. He's going to find an adjustment to make. And that adjustment is going to find us the winner. And after 90 minutes and the match is completed, we're going to end up on top. And that's all that matters. And we found a way today. We won 2-1. We easily could have won 3-1. And we got the job done. And that's all that you can ask for. So the only thing that I want to kind of preach here is it's a 90-minute football game. Understand that it's 90 minutes. Understand that there are adjustments that are going to be made. Understand we have a magician on the touchline that figures out ways to win these games, and just trust the squad because we do it every single time. It's not luck. Pull up the comment that I believe it was Bilal just made. I don't remember exactly what he said. We were lucky, something along the lines of being lucky. We were lucky again, something like that. You had pulled it up just a moment ago. There's not luck. When it happens every single time, it's not luck.
Thank you for saying that.
Now, if you're in the chat, do put that comment up again because I can't seem to find your comment, mate.
I know.
It was Bilal for sure.
Oh.
I don't see a Bilal comment.
I mean, I would like to jump on what Jake said.
He goes by NBA on there.
Oh, NBA. Okay.
NBA, yeah.
I would like to jump on what Jake said, if you don't mind, please.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I'm starting to see this thing on social media. Oh, Liverpool gets lucky. Bro, you don't get that. Luck is if I shoot the ball somewhere and then it deflects, unexpected deflection, and then it goes in. Even that, I had to create that luck, right? So we people and then the people who annoys me the most are usually Liverpool fans who do this. Oh, we got lucky. We're not gonna play perfect game every single match. We're not gonna dominate every single match. What Jake is saying is Klopp is teaching these guys that it doesn't matter what happens, it's a 90 minutes plus extra time. Until the whistle is blown, keep going. And we have done it all season. That's why a lot of fan base trying to say, oh, well, I would rather say Arsenal is more closer to City than Liverpool because Liverpool gives us a lot of chances and their defense is weak. And everything that somebody has said about Liverpool, the stats and the eye test says different. You see what I mean? Yes, we play high-risk football because we know the goalies that we have in the back and we know the center backs that we have. So if we give too many chances, then why do we have the best defensive stats in the entire league against the best team in the world, right? City or Arsenal, quote unquote. Saliba and Gabriel, the best center back duo. Everything that everybody have said, we have debunked it. We create our own luck. We are relentless. Until the game is over, it's not over for us. And the manager is teaching that over playing sexy football and then come back with nothing. I'm still fuming against the Manchester United game.
I think we all would be, Quasi, because in the last couple of weeks, as much as I don't want to be a negative, because Liverpool are winning games, we are top of the league, we haven't lost the game. The performances, especially in the first half, and it's been a story of our season, have not been great.
All season, yes.
And we start games slow.
Yeah.
Today was a bit different. You know, we got into a rhythm in the first 15. Then Fulham scored in the 19th minute, and then first half was a bit sluggish. Then we came into the second half. This is which I want to get into. The first half was really, really poor, Jake. But second half, especially after the changes, something just switched in Liverpool because we were just getting chance after chance after chance after chance. We were literally pegging Fulham in. And I think Fulham knew that was coming.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first time Fulham have led in a match at halftime and not won. And it's at Anfield.
It goes back to what I was saying. I mean, listen, you're not going to play perfect football for 90 minutes every single match. And I'm not saying that because that's what people expect. I know people don't expect that, but I'm saying that because Klopp goes into the matches understanding that it's a 90-minute match and there's going to be adjustments that he needs to make in order for him to figure out a way to win the match. And that's what he does. And he does that each and every single match. Now, I talked about this yesterday. This game was never going to be easy. In the comments, people are talking about 4-2, 5-2, 4-1, going into the second leg with the tie wrapped up. I told you guys last night that's never going to happen. You guys can forget about that. We're going into the second leg, up a goal. We won this match. That's exactly the scoreline that I anticipated it was going to be. I told you guys yesterday I thought it was going to be 2-1. So I'm not surprised that it's 2-1. And we have to go in there and we're going to have to win another match, or we're going to have to draw the match and move on. It's going to be another difficult match, but we have the advantage. We have a goal lead. They're going to have to beat us at their place, whether it's in regular time or in penalty kicks, in order for them to advance. And as we know, it's not easy to beat this side. The draw's not good enough for them. So we're in a good position right now. There's nothing to complain about.
Draw is not good enough, Jake says. Quasi, would you have taken a draw
today?
A draw's not good enough. Next match. Next match is what I mean.
Sorry.
It's not good enough for Fulham to advance. We get a draw and it's over. We advance. That's what I mean.
Quasi?
Draw today? No, I wouldn't accept, especially being
absolutely not.
No, I wouldn't accept the draw.
Especially us being the home team. Sorry to interrupt. Especially the home team. The first leg's at home. I think a lot of fans, including myself, because I'm a culprit myself. I know I'm supposed to be the unbiased one, but I'm a biased fan as well. I expected us to roll Fulham over today, and Jake was saying no, and he was absolutely right. I was saying 3-0 to Liverpool, 3-1 to Liverpool, and Jake was telling me, no, just a Premier League team. We haven't got half our team available at the moment. I don't think how we can expect to roll Fulham over, and that's not what happened. Maybe the second half, if we looked at from the 60th minute, I think Fulham could have been in serious trouble. But we were caught on the counter so many times, Liverpool. So many times they bypassed the midfield. There was one pass from the top. And if we play a better team, the chances... They didn't necessarily put the ball in the box when I expected them to, but those chances against a Man City, against an Arsenal, against a Tottenham, we could be in trouble. And that's why I'm not looking at this performance as a good performance for Liverpool, because it was far from that. We got the job done, but we need to be a bit more cautious because we can't keep playing like this and expect to win games.
It was a basketball game for a good 15 minutes there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe more than that.
I need to challenge Sarib a little bit. But
come on,
that's the narrative that we've been hearing all season, though. If we play against this team like this is going to happen. We have played all of them playing the same way. We played City. The only way City scored a goal is because our goalie slipped. And we were on a counter attack, and then he slipped, bad kick, the ball came right back, right? People were not anticipating it. Yeah, you could criticize certain players for being in right position, but it's what it is. And we should have won that game. I believe till this day, I still believe we should have been in City because I don't remember a part where I felt like I'm very uncomfortable. Now, with the Arsenal game, we gave them the chances and they didn't take it. They think that they could have scored 3-4. What makes you think that we could have not scored 3-4 the same thing in the second half? Because, and you asked me, why do you think that way? Well, thank you, you asked. Because every second half, whatever the scoreline is, we will match it or score more. Right? That's why I'm fuming against the Manchester United game. We had 38 shots and attempts, and we didn't breach that defense. So I think a lot of times, yes, another team with this particular chances, they will score more. But guess what? When we play those teams, we change. We change the tactics. We change certain things where it makes the other team have to be like, hey, if we don't put them away, they will come back at you. We did that to City. Right? City.
Go ahead.
I
was just going to say, one guy that we have to touch on is Conor Bradley.
No, absolutely. We're going to get on to Conor Bradley very, very shortly.
I guess we can wait. I guess we can wait, but
no. Go
ahead. I mean, that was my rebuttal to what Sarib said, especially when people say Liverpool.
I thought Conor Bradley was absolutely phenomenal today. I know he had a little bit of struggles on the goal that we conceded, but outside of that, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. And for him to walk into the team and to put in that performance, I thought it was nothing short of amazing. If I'm being quite honest, I thought it was nothing short of amazing.
He deputized very, very well for Trent Alexander-Arnold. If I'm Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'm looking at that performance and thinking, wow, he might have taken some weight off my shoulders. I don't have to be the only creator in this team. And Conor Bradley, honestly, I did not expect a performance like that against a Premier League level side. He's not had much football this season in terms of playing the Europa League. Even them, he's been in and out of the team in the Europa League. Trent has come in. Gomez has played right back. So he's not been a consistent cup right back as per se. But goodness me, 19 years old, 20 years old to come in and put a performance like that after not having much game time for the majority of the season against a Premier League level opposition. It's truly it's amazing to watch.
And imagine when he plays with Salah and some of the other big boys, he needs more game time too. That's what people also not put into context. He needs a lot of game time with this team because he was on loan, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Last season, yes, he was on loan. Yes.
So he needs game time with this team, especially with the older players, the big boys, so-called. So he did. I was very excited with the way he played. He was very smart on his runs. He didn't bomb forward every single time. I saw Asim comment. I think I would have probably, maybe we'll talk about it later. I didn't like Gomez being inverted because he was getting a lot of the ball in very dangerous places and he was misplacing it. And the ball was also.
I thought he worked very well.
No, he played well, but that inverted thing is not. Yeah, on the left side, he wasn't working. He does it very well usually when he's on the right side. On the left side, I felt like especially that this chance that Fulham got when we were down 1-0, where Kelleher saved the ball. He got caught under the ball, trying to invert, and the ball went over his head. And I think, yeah.
I don't want to cut you short, but I think you're being too harsh. I think you're being way too harsh. Joe Gomez is playing a right footer. He's a right foot player playing at left back, playing an inverted role, a midfield role, which is completely unnatural to him. He's by trade centre back. He's been asked to do a left back role inverted into midfield.
Basically, I'm challenging not him. I'm challenging the manager for allowing that to happen. I would have never. I would have never inverted Gomez, especially on the left side. Since he's been there, he's been just playing left-sided with Trent there, right? And he's been great. So why change it?
Jake, I think it's quite controversial that from Quasi. If I'm being honest with you, I think it's quite. I
I think
thought he was really good today.
I think it's a little bit harsh. Also, I absolutely think it's harsh. I thought he played a very good game. I don't think he was all that poor. For you, Sarib, who's your man of the match?
Oh, Conor Bradley, absolutely Conor Bradley. He was the best player.
He's your man of the match?
Country mile. Second half, absolutely amazing. I think there was a comment where someone goes, Conor Bradley was good, but on the ball, he was too scared. I was screaming, just cross it. He did put a couple crosses in the box, especially when Darwin Nunez came on, when he had someone to ping the ball off to. Because Diogo Jota's, he likes these vigorous little movements in the box, likes to go drift from the left, drift from the right. We didn't really have that target man in the box. But there was one chance in the second half, I think it was the 70th minute. Conor Bradley put it into the box, and Nunez like kind of flicked it and it hit Bernd Leno. And I've seen him do that quite a few times this season, Darwin Nunez from Alexander-Arnold crosses. So for me, it was just very nice to watch someone from the right fullback that can actually cross the ball.
Yeah, I actually disagree. I disagree with that comment entirely because I know exactly what Sleepy is referencing. There's many times where he would be carrying the ball up the wing and then he would cut it back and play the pass backwards. And I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that because what I don't want to see is just pinging crosses in, losing possession, losing composure, being impatient. We have a lot of that in our team. And we've had a lot of that over the course of the last, 6 to 8 weeks, especially when we were struggling to score goals there for 5 or 6 matches. That's a big part of the reason why I was so strong on putting Harvey into the squad because Harvey doesn't play those balls. He, for the most part, he retains the ball. He holds on to the ball. He carries it. It's very tough to take the ball off his foot. He doesn't misplace passes. He doesn't just play a pass to play a pass. So to see Bradley in his first match with us to come in and have that level of composure on this stage in the semifinal at home, I thought it was brilliant. So I wouldn't agree with that comment.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's not. There's a reason. If you have a fullback doing that, that means they're smart because there's nobody in the box, and then Fulham had packed the box. So why should I just kick the ball into the box and then get it counterattack against us? People also have to realize Klopp just started giving people green light to shoot. He hated that because of how we play. We play so high. So if you shoot and it deflects on somebody, it's a counterattack. But Bradley was just being smart. Yeah, you could say, he had a little bit of hesitance. That's because that's his first time. It's been a long time. He has to be smart about it. If he's not sure, he's not going to do it. And that will take time for him to get there. The more games he plays, the more ease he gets, and then he'll be doing more, per se, risky stuff. But today, he did very well. He didn't need to force it. And that's a lot of things that sometimes, even Trent sometimes will be doing. He forces the issue. But yes, with him, he had the talent. He has the skill to do it. Bradley doesn't. So I feel like he sized the time where it needs to pass and we need to cross, and sometimes just bring it back. Let's recycle it.
Does he have a future as a Liverpool starting right back? I know it's a very, very early and bold claim to make, but I think this could maybe pave the way for Alexander-Arnold moving into midfield. I know this is very early. It's very reactionary. We've only seen one game of this, but the signs are there. This is a Premier League level opponent that we're playing tonight. And that's the majority of their players are playing in week out in the Premier League. That was Fulham's starting 11 for most Premier League games. And Conor Bradley did himself so proud out there, Jake. So proud.
Yeah, listen, I mean, we have very little to go off of right now. But if you're putting me on the spot and you're telling me, make a decision, are you going to tell me yes or no? You look at I don't know exactly how many minutes he was on the field against Arsenal the other match, lined up basically one-on-one with Martinelli for, let's just call it 20 minutes. And then his performance tonight, I mean, how could anybody say no? If you're going to make me pick an answer, I have to say yes.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. The thing is, there's also tapered expectation. This is not on was on Mr. Bradley. It's on the fans, because if he does, say, cement the right side, guess what the fans will be doing? we need you to play like Trent was playing, which is two separate players, you know? And I also don't want to hear, oh, he's very good defensively, but he's not good going forward. No, he's just a good right back who just plays for Liverpool. So I think we need to just take our time, let the man grow. Eventually, I believe he's going to save us a lot of money on the right side. Even if Klopp goes and get another person, I believe this kid is going to be in Liverpool for a long time. As long as he put his head down and work his behind off.
Look, I want to get in some of the comments now. Mr. Bait Red, if that's not right, thank you for your comment, mate. We've got enough games to rotate. More importantly, Klopp has options now, and he isn't shy to use the options. Yes. And I think today was quite evident of that. But at the moment, I don't think we have much room to rotate because we haven't got any players available. Most of the players that are playing in our first 11 at the moment would be rotation options. Conor Bradley, Joe Gomez, Robertson is the actual left back. No Szoboszlai, Gravenberch is starting the game. Elliot, etc., etc. The options are good when everyone is available, but when we have players available, we have no options. So it's kind of a double-ended sword for me. But I want to get onto the attack now, Jake and Kwazi. First half, the attack, it didn't work. Second half, especially after Klopp made the substitutions, and we'll get onto that man in a second. You know who exactly I'm going to talk about. What did you make of Jurgen Klopp? And he identified a problem at halftime, and he rectified it very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I'll go to you first.
Again, the players haven't played together in a long time. Jota has been in the team, but he's been injured for a long time. He just got back. And if rumors are to be believed, Klopp had to disobey the medical department to force him to play against, was it Burnley? That was when he came back and scored the goal. If you were to believe that. What's the name? Elliot, yes, he's been playing, but Elliot has not been playing on the right side. He's been playing in midfield three. So that is a whole new front three that Klopp basically created. Elliot is not even part of the front three. When you put the 5 forwards, Elliot, there's only 5 of them, and that's Gakpo, Nunez, Diaz, Salah, and Jota. So I was expecting some disjointment in the front three. And honestly, I think Jota just do what Jota does. He just score goals. So for a lot of people, if he doesn't score, they think he hasn't played well. But usually he plays very well. It's just he's missing a lot of times, right? And Klopp's system can get a player go missing because they're doing something else to support another player. Reason why Szoboszlai always feel like, oh, he's not playing well. You're like, no, watch him carefully. Yeah, I posted is it what they call it, Squawka or whatever the stats website is, between Szoboszlai and Arsenal's captain. And Szoboszlai blows him out of the park. But yet everybody says Szoboszlai is having a very stinker right now. You know, so you just have to pay attention and also look at the game based on the manager's instructions. That means the manager's eyes. If you are focusing just you'll be like, oh, these players are useless.
I want to touch on Jota, Jake, because I've been very critical of Diogo Jota in the past. When he doesn't score, he doesn't offer much at all. But honestly, he looked like Messi on the pitch there with his dribbling, the way he was driving with the ball, the way he was linking play. It was a very, very good performance from Diogo Jota, and not a performance that we've associated with him, especially at his time in Liverpool. We've known him to be a goal scorer, poacher in the box, left foot, right foot in the air. But today, not necessarily a playmaking role, but he was really, really good and really effective without scoring today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the first goal that we scored, Curtis Jones' goal, that was 100% all of Diego Jota's work, all of his work. So the amount of work that he put in just to recover the ball, to play that pass, and then we got a little bit lucky with the deflection. That's the type of player that he is, and that's what we get with him on the pitch. But there was a period of time where he was out of it, and this was, I don't remember if it was the beginning of last season. It was definitely the tail end of the season before going into the Champions League final when we lost to Madrid when he came back from that injury.
Luis Diaz,
he was just
Yeah, Luis Diaz came and kind of just ripped his spot away from the first 11. Yeah, and it kind of obviously detrimental to a confidence.
Yeah, and even when he was on the field, he kind of just lost everything. And what I mean by that is his link-up play was terrible. The weight on his passes were terrible. He wasn't dribbling the ball well. But that player is completely gone now, and it's great to see. Now he's back into his form, and like you mentioned today, he was absolutely brilliant from that moment on, really, because prior to that, he was a little bit, in and out of the match. But from that point forward, that kind of, revitalized, if you will, the entire squad. And we woke up and then you really saw the kind of heavy metal football that we're about. But one thing that I do want to touch on, to side skirt this topic just a little bit, on the starting front three, is when you have Harvey starting on the right wing. Yes, he's, quote unquote, a forward there, but the positions that he's picking the ball in are so deep. He's not really an attacking forward. So you're really playing with two forwards, with Diaz,
And Jota.
with Diaz and Jota, and that was disjointed. That wasn't working. And when we made those subs, which I'm sure we'll get into, now you're talking about having 4 forwards on the field, really, as opposed to 2. That's Klopp again. Those adjustments that we talk about, obviously that's when the entire game flipped there.
And from what Jake said, compare this game to West Ham, I don't think Elliott played that bad of a game. It's just, if Szoboszlai was playing, you would have seen Szoboszlai going to the outside, which he's accustomed to.
Yes.
You see what I mean? Gravenberch, that's not him. Gravenberch is like a Yaya Toure type of ball. Give me the ball and I go through the person's throat, right? He gets the ball and he just drives straight through. Like, I know I use Yaya Toure, but that's the
profile of the player. Yes.
The profile of the player, right? So Szoboszlai will go on the outside and do the crossing, and then Elliott will be, I like what Elliott is doing because it takes him away from trying to do what Salah does. And there's only one player who can do what Salah does, and that's Salah, right? Trying to get the ball from the outside and then bring it to the left foot. We all know what you're going to do. Same thing that Saka is doing that he can't do anymore because everybody has figured him out. Shut down his left side, and then he's done. So Elliott is getting, like you said, he comes to the low or deeper, get into the pocket, and then try to get a pass through the midfield. Today, the problem is Gravenberch was not reading it and go on the outside when Elliott comes into the midfield. So he leaves that right side wide open. So he just leaves 2 players playing at top. And that's if Jota is not in a deeper role like the Bobby Firmino, and then leaves Diaz by himself, So I think it's the profile of the players that we have, and each one has kind of a, like they used to say, Salah and Nunez had figured a partnership. There's partnership figuring out as we go. And I still say the manager doesn't know who is who yet, because some players will play very well with another, and then they can't play well with the other player. And I thought that's what happened to Elliott today.
Yeah, and I think that position, not necessarily it's unnatural to him, but in this system that Klopp's deployed over the last couple of years, he's not played that right wing role, and we associate that right wing role as an inside forward. Mohamed Salah getting in behind. Elliott is more of a midfield, plays in the pockets, likes to make these little cute passes to left and right, and has the occasional goal in him. But I think Klopp identified a problem very, very quickly, and Jake made a very good point that the front 3 was disjointed. And I think when we brought on those 2 attackers that won us the game, Gakpo and Darwin Nunez, when we had 4 attackers on the pitch, it completely revitalized the whole team. The fans, they all stood up, crying out for Nunez and Gakpo. And eventually, Nunez with 2 assists and Gakpo with that brilliant first-time finish to win us the game.
We talked about this yesterday, and Sheen and I were on the same page. We wanted to see Darwin start the match number 1, but we wanted to see him start on the wing. And we talked about how much chaos that he creates when he's on the wing as opposed to being central. And that's what we saw today. And I mentioned this to Asim on a phone conversation yesterday when we were talking about the creativity loss of Trent and how we're going to replace that. And I said, this is going to sound crazy, but Darwin can offer you something in creation on the wing. And we saw that today. And it's not the first time that we've seen this.
I agree. I thought he's going to start on the left side today, and then Diaz on the right side, because Diaz played very well on the right side. And
Arsenal.
I need to give his flowers in the defensive things that Diaz does, but nobody wants to talk about that. Today, there was a chance where one of the Fulham, I forgot who, was wide open, and Diaz was the only one who ran track back to get the ball into corner. Nunez brings, it's not just the chaos, because then we just trying to box him. Oh, he's just a chaos merchant. No, he plays really well to the point where it helps Liverpool, other players score goals. Today, the chance that he made is not his fault. It's just the goalie happens to be there. The ball was going to the net, and the goalie stretched his leg, and then he got it. There's nothing he can do after that. But assessing what he brings to the team, like, watch the Arsenal match again. Saliba was having a very good day until Nunez showed up. And then Jota showed up. Then Saliba, all of a sudden, the best center back in the league, could not figure out what to do in it. So Nunez brings something that a lot of teams wish they have. But they will banter us because he doesn't score goals. Yes, I want him to score goals. That's what I want Nunez to do. But this guy, he stretches the game out. Center backs are worried because this guy has pace. He can run with the ball. When he's with the ball, he doesn't make mistakes like people think he does. The pass that he gave to Gakpo today, come on. If this is the guy that everybody said we should sell him already, the pass was a great pass. Jota just had to Gakpo just had to touch it, reflect it on, and let's go.
It's really a shame that, for Darwin to put in this performance and not to have Chin on the show. He's basically his number one fan. I'm a little bit disappointed for Chin not to be on the show to give him his flowers, because Chin absolutely deserves all the credit in the world to basically been on the Nunez wagon for the last almost 2 years now. So credit to you, Chin.
But look, guys, we spoke about Darwin Nunez. What did you think of Cody Gakpo when he came on? Because I am a big advocate of Cody Gakpo. Do not listen to Asim. Do not listen to Avi. Do not listen to Chin. I did not say Cody Gakpo should be sold by Liverpool. What I said was, how do you keep 5 attackers happy? That is the problem. And if I'm going to get rid of one of them, it would have been Gakpo, because I think all of them offer goals which Gakpo may not offer to the level of Jota, Nunez, Salah, Diaz, etc., etc. But Cody Gakpo was absolutely outstanding. He has something that no player in this squad has. He can play the right-hand side of midfield, the left-hand side of midfield, the false 9, as a 10, on the left 8. I've seen him do it all, Cody Gakpo.
Midfield.
Yeah, and today I saw him prominently off the right-hand side. He got into the box for the goal, but he was making crosses from the right-hand side. He was in the middle of the box, and that finish, wow. Whenever Gakpo plays, Gakpo delivers, Jake.
Yeah, he does. And listen, one thing that I don't agree with is that it's going to be a challenge to keep five attackers happy. I think we're doing a pretty good job of keeping them all happy. So that's one thing that I would disagree with. But yes, one thing that for the most part he always does is he finds a way to deliver, and he finds a way to be clinical in front of goal, because he doesn't have a ton of chances, but the chance that he gets, more times than not, he takes them and puts them away. Really, the only chance that comes to mind, and I don't even remember who it was. It was that one chance he had in the center of the box. He kicked it basically right to the goalie from essentially the penalty spot. The box was loaded with defenders, and it wasn't an easy finish. And that's really the only one that I could think of recently that he didn't put away. But other than that, he's very clinical in front of goal.
I agree.
And yes, the finish today was brilliant. Absolutely.
That was beautiful. It was beautiful. Gakpo, see, somebody, I forgot who said it, and I apologize. Somebody said in the chat, we have 5 players who are different, which is beautiful, because when we had 4 of them at one point, right, towards the end, and they said that the whole Fulham defense could not figure out who do you deal with, because Nunez will give you something different, Diaz will give you something different, Jota will give you something. Now you have to deal with Gakpo. Imagine if Salah was there, it would have been a whole total chaos, right? So I think a lot of times Liverpool fans just have expectations that if this player doesn't do this, he's crap. Get him out of there. No, Gakpo is a very, very, very good player. If you put him in front of the goal, he's going to score. And
you've seen.
Go ahead.
Sorry for cutting you off, but you've seen both sides to the equation. When we have all of our attackers fit, you see the adjustments that are made, making changes to the attack.
Oops. What happened to Jake?
I think his Wi-Fi's gone. There he is. There he is.
Oh.
Making an impact on the match.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same token, when we haven't had our attackers fully fit, you see how that has the reverse impact. When we don't have those substitutions that we can make and we can't flip the game. And that's that's a big part of the problem that we had against United, against Arsenal, and some of the other matches where we were really struggling to score.
Mm-hmm. And imagine when Thiago comes back. I know he's a player nobody wants to talk about. It's like I was saying earlier, we have players that they have connections with the midfield, especially the midfield. You know, some of them knows how to read certain players run. You know, Henry, I remember this little side note here. Henry used to say, I know what Perez is good at, and I know what what's his name? The guy from Netherlands, one of their players, he's good. Yeah, he knows each one's weakness and each other's greatness. So his run is tipped based on who is going to give me the pass. And I think that's something that as a fan base, we have to be patient, because he ripped the entire midfield out and rebuilt the team. And the fact that we are where we are right now, we have to give the kudos to the manager. And then, Sarib, you saying that how do you make 5 people happy? Again, the manager, we have to give him his flowers, because the manager, Klopp 2.0, is doing something he didn't do with Klopp 1.0, which is rotation a lot, making substitution when the mistakes can be rectified, and making it sooner rather than waiting till like the 78th minute. That's when he's making his subs. And he's using all his 5 subs. So when these guys are coming in, they come in and say, I'm going to run my socks off and finish the game. So I think the manager, a lot of times we have to give respect to the manager and the players, because the players also have the IQ to execute the instructions that the manager has given.
Jay Quasi makes some very, very good points, and it ties in very, very nicely to my question about the manager. Jurgen Klopp has been very, very good and very, very quick to make substitutions when things are not going right this season. And those kind of substitutions are won in the game. I remember early in the season, and I know you were at the game, Jay, in disguise at Newcastle, when Darwin Nunez came off the bench and scored 2 goals. Harvey Elliott winner against Crystal Palace, Luis Diaz against Luton. It's happened time and time and time again. And sometimes you just have to take your hat off as well. And I'm not going to tell you to take your hat off, but clap our hands and take our hat off to Jurgen Klopp. He has been remarkable this season. And again, his substitutions were very, very good, and they've won Liverpool the game.
Yeah, listen, it's what I talked about at the beginning of the show. And it's hard for me to comprehend how others don't realize this by this point in the season. It's not going to be perfect for 90 minutes. And we have a magician, as I mentioned, on the touchline. And there's going to be adjustments that are going to be made. And more times than not, those adjustments are going to lead to us winning the match. It's a squad that we have. It's not luck. It's not fortunate. When it happens time and time again, you can basically say it's by design at this point. And if you don't follow Asim right now, and I'd be surprised if anybody that's watching the show doesn't follow him, I'm going to put a plug onto his Twitter page right now, because each and every single match, he talks about the adjustments that are made. More times than not, they're by Klopp. Sometimes they're by Pep. But he has a thread each and every single match talking about the tactical adjustments that are made, talking about basically debunking this myth that Klopp doesn't make these adjustments in game, because he does, and his adjustments are leading to wins. And it's leading to wins almost every single match that we play. So you have to give the man his flowers, 100%.
And I have a question for both of you.
Tell me.
I'm a big supporter of Edwards, right? To the point where sometimes I feel like Klopp 1.0 was Edwards' team. That's like Edwards' championships, right? Because he identified the players and said, Klopp wanted certain players. He's like, nah, get this one, right? At least that's the story out there. And this also ties to Salah. Does it feel like this is everything that's going on is Klopp, right? He's picking the players. I mean, the FSG have given him enough power where he picks the players, whether he gets the player he wants or not, but still option A, B, and C is his players. And Salah wins the league this year It's better than the club 1.0 championship because this is Salah's team. This is Salah. Salah wins this. This is Salah's
We
championship.
haven't won it yet, Quasi. We haven't won
I
it
know,
yet.
but I'm just, looking in the future because I believe that we will do a quad.
You think we'll do a quad?
Bro,
Oh,
I have
you-
so much faith in this team.
You're just
I
gonna
have
throw
so-
that out there like it's
He's
nothing.
been reeled in
Like,
January.
If you this shameless plug, you go to Crazy Bowl TV. I've been saying this team, and just like Jake, you said, at this point, what can you say against this team? They've shown
so you're
you
not lying
that
when you call yourself Quasi Bold. That's a legitimate statement.
the manager has given these guys a mentality, right? The players have a grasp to what this manager wants, right? Salah is hungry. Alisson is hungry. Virgil is hungry. I mean, the backbone of the team is hungry. Usually, a team that has already won, they will be relaxed, right? And then you have brought in some young players who haven't won anything and say, I want to win something. So you have these two combination of things that you be like, bro. So when people say, oh, it's by luck, you be like, how is it by luck? I'm not saying it's sustainable to always go behind no, but there's a word that I think maybe we should move away from mentality monsters to relentless. Because clubs team 2.0 right now are relentless. They will keep trying until they break you down. Mind you, we almost set a record against us. Was it Newcastle? We set a record. Arsenal, BBC set a record. I mean, it's at this point, I have faith in the players, right? Is it beautiful? No, not like the club 1.0 where we were Salah, Mane, Bobby, Gini, Henderson, all these guys were just tearing teams apart. No one has ever seen something like that before. Pep had nightmares. The man kept talking about these three guys all the time. And this guy goes in 1 year, ripped the entire DNA of that successful team that even Europe had never seen before. And then he creates this one. And Pep comes back and said, Liverpool is back. So if Pep, who is the main dude, is saying Liverpool is back, tell me who am I to go against Pep? And I'm talking about Guardiola.
Because
Yeah,
all I
of
can
course.
say is you're a lot more positive than me, mate. You're a lot more positive, more brave than me because I'm not that brave. I'm not that brave to say we're going to be on for a quad. Jake?
I don't even know where. I'm not even ready to unpack this conversation. If I'm being honest with you, I'm not even ready to unpack this conversation. I'm glad that we have a 1-goal advantage going into the second leg. I'm happy we won today. It's what I expected. By no means I did not expect us to win, but I knew it was going to be a difficult match. As I mentioned on the show yesterday, we found a way to make it to the final, which I expect we will. I will be there at Wembley. So that's the plan. And really, that's all on my mind right now. And I was asked yesterday if I thought we had a chance to win the league. My answer was yes. So at the very least, I think we can win 2 out of these 4 trophies. But
So question, do you think we can win
I haven't
the
thought
FA
about
Cup?
the other 2 just yet.
But FA Cup, I believe that it's going to be Liverpool is sitting in the final. That's what I believe.
I don't think you can say that yet, Quasi, because we might draw them in the next round. We might get them in the round afterwards. There's a potential of us not getting them in the final. I think it's too early to call that as well. We might get them in the FA Cup semi-final, and we could be playing Bournemouth in the final for argument's sake. We don't know. I just
believe my team.
Early. There's too many games to go.
But can I tell you something though?
Tell me.
The manager had an interview where he said, trust us. And after that, I made a decision that I will trust him. So I cannot go against me saying I will trust. If I say I trust you, then later on I'm like, yo, Jake, I mean, come on, you should have played Kwanzaa instead of Virgil. I mean, look what Virgil did. Nah, I'm gonna trust you, and I see what the manager is doing. It's beautiful. And people, we are not even at 80% yet. We are like maybe 67, 70%. Imagine when we get to that level where we go club.
If we get these guys back, we've been talking about getting them back, and then we lose one. So we need to get these guys back, but we'll see.
Look, guys, let's see where it goes. Liverpool are 1 step away from a final at Wembley. 2 years since our last one against Chelsea. And we're on the way to maybe a quadruple, Quasi. But guys, anything else that I miss out? Anything else, Jake? Do you want to add anything else, Quasi? Anything else?
I do want to add one thing.
Floor's yours.
Just one thing that I want to talk about before we log off here, and I think it's a little bit important. He wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but one player that I thought was absolutely brilliant, and I hope that this is a common opinion amongst Liverpool fans, is Alexis McAllister. I thought McAllister today was absolutely fantastic. And what I want to talk about specifically with him is the issues that we've seen with McAllister since he's come to Liverpool, playing in this sixth position, is that he's getting bullied off the ball. That's the one area where we kind of watch his performances and say, man, we wish he had a little bit more maybe bite in that midfield. And you could see Fulham today really tried to bully him around in the middle of the park, and they weren't able to get away with it. And he was absolutely brilliant with the ball. He was feisty. He had bite. He was winning possession. He was crafty with the ball. He was making passes. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. He's one player that I think right now in the squad, and it's funny coming from me because I was tough on him before his injury. He's one player in the squad right now that I really don't think we can afford to lose. I'm very happy to have him back.
I agree 1,000%. And funny how you said that. Right now, the player that needs to eat a little bit of cheeseburgers is Gravenberch because he got bullied a couple of times off the ball, which for his size, it shouldn't happen. But I'm going to give him as much time as possible because of I know the boy at Bayern, they basically throw him to the wolves and he didn't have game time. And coming to Liverpool and playing club system is extremely, extremely hard. The fact that the manager have him means that he can do it. So I will give him the time. But McAllister today, man, he slid tackle a couple of times. I was like, whoa, is Endo back or what? I also want to give a big up to Bradley. I think he's man of the match for me. Joey did what Joey does. But hey, Nunez and Jota, man, and Gakpo. Thank you so much. And then Kelleher too, people. Last time when he was doing mistakes, we gave him against the same team, right? But today he did very well, and we have to big him up a little bit. Yeah.
I think we will have Jake. But look, guys, do you have anything else to add before we wrap up?
That's everything, lads. Good
That's
chatting
it,
with you guys, man. 2-1 victory.
Liverpool.
All is well.
Liverpool
The boys need a rest. Good, best time for them to get the rest.
Absolutely. But Liverpool beat Fulham. A bit of a break now.
Yeah.
But we are back tomorrow with another show. I won't be here, but make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you like, subscribe, you follow our Twitter. You guys follow Jake on Twitter. Jake, what is your Twitter that I can kind of like post it in here so I can
All my teams suck.
All my teams suck.
Yeah, 1S.
This one. Let's see if I can get it on the screen. That one?
No, all, not O. ALL.
Okay, guys. Go follow Jake and Quasi. Quasi, what's your Twitter? I'll put it up here right now.
Oh, my Twitter, Quasi Bowl TV.
Quasi Bold, no question. Quasi Bold, gentlemen.
Yeah, just Quasi Bowl. Yeah.
Guys, make sure you follow both of these lads on Twitter. They're some of the best Liverpool fans on there, on Twitter, on YouTube. Their opinions are really, really good. And for a second appearance on the channel, Jake, I can tell you it's a lot better than mine, and for you, Quasi, as well. It's been a lot better than mine. When I started on this channel, I was a bit like shy. I couldn't come out my little zone. But you guys are confident speakers. I'm still a bit shy. I've done this for 6 months.
Have faith in the manager.
You guys are the experts. You guys. I'm learning from you. But guys, thank you very much for being on the show, Jake and Quasi. As always, it's been a pleasure to speak.
Good chatting with you guys.
Good chatting, guys.
Comment section. Thank you very much for your engagement, guys. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you get the race to 10K is on. We're so close.
Let's get there, guys.
A little push, and we'll be there. Make sure to go check out Quasi's channel, Quasi Bowl TV. I think you're having Avi on very, very soon, Quasi.
Yeah, I have Avi yesterday actually. So
you can have Avi on Instagram.
Yeah.
Go watch that. Go follow their socials. And until next time, Jake, Quasi in the comments. We'll see you very, very soon. Take care, guys, and out.